What is good, Cardano fam, ADA gang? We have lots of exciting updates to unpack today, so hit that subscribe, hit that like. Cardano ADA 24-hour trade volume surpasses $1.7 billion according to CoinGecko. CoinMarketCap ranks Cardano as the fifth most bullish community sentiment at over 85%. Cardano's MiCA-compliant and fiat-backed stablecoin USDM announces its rebate program will continue throughout the third quarter, providing users with up to $25 worth of USDM to cover their bank fees for minting. Bloomberg Intelligence ETF research analyst James Seyffart says we should have a clearer idea of what's going on before the end of August regarding both the Grayscale GDLC ETF and the Bitwise ETF, which both include Cardano. And this is super important. Bloomberg Intelligence senior ETF analyst Eric Balchunas shares the SEC's listing standards for crypto ETFs or ETPs that will be approved, which include Cardano. Eric predicts pending and paused ETFs will be fully approved likely in September or October. So a lot of economic pressure, a lot of things are pointing to this Q4 being amazing. And so I'm really excited. I think Q4, we're going to see a lot of economic activity. We're going to see a lot of ETFs approved. And this was coming to us through an exchange filing. And Eric mentioned it's all the same mentions we already saw. The projects that were already on their existing predictions, likes of Cardano and XRP and Solana and whatnot. So Cardano is on that list, and it's good to see. We're likely going to see those ETFs approved quickly. And these index ETFs, especially because they're not controversial, it's easy for the SEC to approve because they have high allocations to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So a lot of it's very sensible. It's just a matter of time where we get the ETFs fully approved. Strike Finance generates 56% of all Cardano 24-hour trade volume. Liquidity providers are up over 406,000 ADA, and Strike stakers are on track to receive over 200,000 ADA. I gotta say that Strike is a breath of fresh air. Perpetuals are super hot, so it's fantastic to see that they're doing an amazing job on Cardano. Charles Hoskinson says we were the first to solve the extended UTXO at scale for real developers, us and Ergo. So shout out Ergo. Charles says we solved the first provably secure proof of stake protocol that was liquid non-custodial. We solved that problem. Charles says if you want to build a medical record system and get your records from the hospital to the clinic and back, then Midnight's your thing. If you want to get Bitcoin DeFi yield that's anonymous, Midnight's your thing. Charles says I'm really excited about using Midnight for things like advertising technology and VPNs. We're already in discussion about what that would look like. So I think that if Midnight integrates something like a VPN, advertising technology, synergy with Brave browser and more, I think a lot of people would love that because we see how important these two topics are, VPN and ads. That could really solve a lot of pain points. Charles says when you look at Bitcoin DeFi's growth, by this time next year, we could be looking at $50 billion to $100 billion in TVL for Bitcoin DeFi. Now, not Cardano TVL, but just Bitcoin DeFi in general. And I think that's nearly like a 20x, at least a 10x of what it is right now. And with Bitcoin at an over $2 trillion, just tapping into a small percentage would be huge for Cardano. Charles says Midnight is where we actually get to solve the hardest problems in the history of our industry, which is privacy at scale. Couldn't think of a better time for this launch with the likes of Anti-CBDC Act, with the pushback on CBDCs. It's the perfect time to go live this year. President Trump says the US economy will boom in 5 or 6 months. Car plants are going to be built in record numbers. The AI stuff is crazy. It's all going to start very shortly. We've taken in almost $17 trillion of investments. So I think we're going to see a synergy, the energy boom, AI factories, right? All the machine learning, automobile industry. We're going to see an overlap, an intersection between all this stuff. And I think Q4 is going to be very important He goes on to say that we're going to have a successful country like we've never had before. And yes, the market pulled back. There were some crazy dips, but I bought a lot. I bought a lot of ADA, bought a lot of XRP. I just keep buying the dip. And I think right now it is time to take a look at the altcoins. Everyone's mentioning about looking at altcoins. So I'm seeing buy signals from some highly reputable names. And yes, it could go lower, but no one can really time the bottom. Could it revisit 51 cents? Maybe. If it does, I'll be prepared to buy some more. I will continue to watch Russell 2000 Index on how it opens throughout the week because look, it's in the gutter. And we're not going to be in an altcoin season until this index climbs to reclaim its previous highs, and especially Bitcoin dominance as well, because we're surging back up. So I think ADA, I think XRP are both in good buy prices right now, a great fair value range. We'll continue to watch the market and see what happens. And I'm just really excited to see, likely we're going to see these ETFs have their stay orders lifted in that September-October range. We have legislation that's set for that time range as well. We have Glacier drop, we have midnight. So a lot of things are pointing to Q4. Even the statement by the president, if you take the 5 months at first glance, that goes for December. So historically, the cold seasons tend to be a time where people are spending more, they're more in their house, they're taking a look at stuff a little bit more. And so I think we're seeing kind of the intersection of everything coming together. Retail boom, energy boom, AI boom. And we still have a lot of legislation, lest we forget that Charles Hoskinson did say that he believes the catalyst will be the Clarity Act. Not necessarily the Genius Act, but Clarity for digital asset structure. So guys, I will continue to DCA and continue to accumulate the dip. Let me know if you guys bought the dip. How low do you guys think it's going to go? Smash that subscribe, smash that like. I'll see you guys in the next Angry Crypto Show.